Ladies and gentlemen, let's make welcome to the MedSift Apex 2026 conference, Dr. Godwin Ehigiamusoe. They call him Nigeria's Muhammad Yunus, and for good reason. Dr. Godwin Ehigiamusoe is the architect of a microfinance revolution that has lifted millions out of poverty across Africa. In the devastating aftermath of Nigeria's structural adjustment program in the 1980s, when hope seemed lost, Dr. Ehigiamusoe saw opportunity. He founded the Lift Above Poverty organization, LAPO, starting with just 3 women and 100 naira each. Today, that vision has transformed into LAPO Microfinance Bank. Over 7,000 employees, 6 million beneficiaries, 535 locations, and a cumulative loan portfolio exceeding $400 million. His impact has earned global recognition. World Economic Forum's Outstanding Social Entrepreneur for Africa in 2010, the Grameen Foundation's Award for Excellence in Microfinance in 2006, and an honorary Doctor of Science degree from the University of Benin. With a PhD in Policy and Development Studies and executive training from Harvard Kennedy School, INSEAD and IESC Business School, Dr. Ehigiamusoe uniquely blends academic rigor and practical execution. Named CEO of the Decade in the Microfinance Bank category and author of multiple books including his memoir, Touching Lives, he embodies compassionate capitalism at its finest. Dr. Ehigiamusoe didn't just build a microfinance bank, he built a machine that runs without him, serving 6 million Nigerians across 535 locations long after he stepped back from the day-to-day. At the MedSift Apex Masterclass, he reveals the architecture behind institutions that outlast their founders. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Godwin Ehigiamusoe.
We're going to have discussions. We're going to, discuss this topic I have decided to speak to. And the topic is building healthcare enterprises for success, reliance, and durability. Building healthcare enterprises for 3 objective goals. 1, for success, which also include impact you want to make. Secondly, for resilience, being able to deal with challenges that are internal, that also external to the business, challenges that are not predicted, and the challenges that are not also predicted or known. And finally, to be able to build for durability, another word for sustainability, or explain as institution that will be there for several years, 10 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 100 years. So this is where we're going to talk around, and with our focus on health enterprise. When you talked about health enterprise, for me, it simply means that any business entity, whether you are a medical facility, hospital, you are pharmacy, you are even involved in medical laboratory services, which operate and create products, manufacturer, those in the drug industry, or provide services, services, medical services within the broad spectrum of the healthcare. That's the way I see a medical or a healthcare enterprise. Whether this definition includes you have hospital, you have a medicine store, you have pharmacy, you have production, and of course you have laboratory services and allied health services. So we're going to be talking, it should be applied to large complex entities like the teaching hospitals, big companies, and equally also going to apply to small and medium enterprises in the health sector. So I want to also say, when you now know that this is an enterprise, this is an enterprise, we're going to also quickly, as a way of preamble, to look at what are the expectations of business people when you have a business, even if it is in healthcare. There are usually three prime expectations. There could be others. The first is the whole issue of making success of your business. Success relate to making, financially viable, making profit, and of course, making impact. Businesses are not just to make money. They also make impact. If you have a medical facility, for instance, the first, obviously, people have to pay for your services, from registration to other drugs and all that. That's if you manage it very well, your costs very well, you could make some profit there. But at the same time, you also make impact in the sense that somebody came in sick and is living well. Came in sick and is living healthy. So that is the part of it. Resilience, being able, I've explained that, being able to deal with challenges that are internal to the organization, challenges that are external, policies, few other things, changes, and then, of course, challenges that are known, risks that are known that may happen, and those you never expected, like the COVID-19, but being able to deal with those and come out of this successfully. And lastly, durability. You have to be durable. Durable, you need to be there forever. Forever as you be. And doesn't come easy. I have run a business. LAPO has been around for about 35 years now. And people always are how. So I can tell you that for business to go beyond 5 years, 6 years, 7, 30, and so you have a situation of up and down. And it takes businesses that are run properly to be able to deal with those challenges and be able to be there. So these are, for me, are key expectations of your business when you set up a business. And so when any of them is not achieved, for instance, the business is not profitable, obviously the business is at risk. The performing is at risk. If the business, for instance, is not able to deal with challenges, and that business is also at risk. So if a business, for instance, is not, you set it up, is blossom, and all that, 5 years, it goes away. And that is not really good. So what are the challenges in the healthcare setup? Challenges in the healthcare sector tend to be very clear. I think if you're going to look around where you were, if you're above the age of 40 or 50 or 60, you look around where you were and just imagine some of those businesses. It's not even particularly about healthcare, but look at those healthcare pharmacies that were there about 40 years ago that people were talking about. Talk about hospital in your city. About 50 years ago, everybody was talking about it. And you can see many are no longer there. If any of them is there, for instance, they are not performing the way they were performing at that time. So it's a big challenge, not only for healthcare. I just admit, for most businesses, somebody say, okay, fine. If about 30 years ago you have taken a picture of business signboard in a particular street, and you take it today, you're going to see that most of the signboard that were there about 30 years ago are no longer there. Okay? So that means there's a lifespan. I think there's a lot of statistics about that. A lot of statistics, talks about, what is the proportion of businesses that survive 5 years, 10 years, and blah, blah, blah. But that is an issue. The second thing, what do you have this problem? What are the causes of this problem? Businesses collapsing, businesses underperforming, especially in the healthcare. This is my thinking. The first thing I see that there's an improper perception or at least in the past, it may be still now, perception of owners of businesses in the healthcare that they are not seeing their businesses as business. Some people said medical director of the hospital came out of law, this school, work in government for some, set up a private enterprises, and set up a hospital, and it's a business because it capitalizes it. There's no doubt about that, but it's not perceiving it as a business. You want it to say you are in business of this. Another thing that is to perceive it and act. For instance, if I set up a business, any business at all, and I'm not seeing it as a business, I'm not running it, based on clear principle. So that becomes a big issue. And we're going to speak to this. The second thing is that why businesses fail, even in the healthcare. If you, the one just imagine your mind, those who were big hospitals that are no longer there. It's simply there's no institutionalization. They were not institutionalized. That is, they didn't build institutions. They built buildings. They built that. They didn't build an institution. So it was just like a case of, the big man there. We're going to speak to that. And the medical director is everything. We're going to speak to that later. Now, the question, when you look at what an enterprise, health and care enterprise should be, and why are the challenges, the challenges are there, and what are the issues? The challenges, not stay long and not durable and not, properly performing properly. So we are saying, okay, the challenges are located in the fact that many medical doctors, for instance, and all that, don't really see their business as business, their hospital as business. So we're going to say the truth is this, a medical entity is a business enterprise. There's no that. Let's just assert that it's a business enterprise, and it should be, when we say it's a business enterprise, that it should be managed as a business. A medical entity is a business. They are a business. They are businesses providing healthcare and allied services, just like the bank. The bank is a business providing banking, financial, and allied services. So just keep at the back of your mind that I see a business. Somebody will say, this might be a business. So we're going to look at whether you see it as a business or you run it as a business. So medical entities see it as you're a business person, only doing a business of healthcare, just like the banks are doing the business of banking and financial services. Now, so when you therefore see that, the curse, one of the things you want to see as a business is growth, growth and sustainability being operated over a long period of time. That becomes an issue. The second thing is the issue of profit, consideration as a business. Entrepreneur, whether you're an entrepreneur, that you mobilize, that is why you organize. There are other factors of production. For instance, we do know those days, capital, for instance, labor. Nobody's talking about land now anyway. But you do that. You put all of them together. You take all the risk. You borrow, you pay interest, you do all those things. You to provide, services, to produce drugs, for instance, and with the expectation of a profit. A profit is nothing more than, your revenue. Profit, the calculation straightforward is your revenue less your expenses, and then the what surplus or profit. But that can only come about when you as a business person have undertaken certain things, that you've been able to mobilize capital, you're able to get people and reward them to work, and of course you doing the management. So it's only the truth is this, we know people make profit or make losses or whatever. It's only a well-managed business, and this is the core of this my presentation. When we get there, it's only a well-managed business that can actually make profit. It's only a well-managed business that can stay can be there for a very, very long time. So it's only a well-managed business that can deal with challenges in the operating environment. So we're going to go to that now, with the heading, Building Successful Health Enterprises. When I say building, it also means managing. Even if your business have been there, your hospital has been there, your pharmacy has been there, your medical, your laboratory, or whatever has been there, and you want to make it successful. We have defined success in terms of profit and impact. We're also about being able to be there for a long time. I think that's the big challenge of businesses in Nigeria. I run Enterprise Development Center called Ehi Center, where we are working with business people, especially who run small, medium businesses, how they can build institutions that can be there, that can be, like one author said, build to last. How can you build an institution to last? So, but the challenge here is this: as we are today, managing a healthcare enterprise is becoming more complex and, of course, challenging. Let's just know that more than before, more than before. When you set up a clinic or medical something, your emphasis was more or less on how do I have, good clinical outcomes? How do I, excellent clinical outcomes? Well, that is still important. There's no doubt about that. That is still very, very important. But what we are saying that it is becoming more complex, to be able to make success of any business, especially healthcare businesses, is becoming more complex, and therefore there is need to fully understand this. What is it about now when you talk about what success means now in managing healthcare? We talked about it, what we bring about success. And this is where I think I will expect many participants to actually sort of have a new perspective into the way they run their businesses. I see that when we run this thing for business owners, they tend to not to really have the clarity, not to have the attitude of how this thing could be done. So I have identified 4 areas. The first area is corporate governance. And if you want your success, sound corporate governance, we're going to explain that. But it basically means that running your business, the processes of running your business, the processes of oversight your business, the processes of ensuring the procedures are clear. In summary, it is running a business beyond the owner. Just like you create institutional structure and processes that keep the business running, even in spite of the presence of the business owner. If, for instance, I have a company, I'm not a medical doctor, I'm a PhD, but I have a medical facility. It's about 7 years old. I'm not there. I don't run that. But there is a structure, governance structure that has been put in place that ensure that the business is running in spite of my absence. I'm not there, but it's running. We're going to look at how do you do that? Efficient financial management. We're talking about efficient financial management. We're going to speak on that. Talking about institutional resilience and also excellent patient's experience. I think somebody is probably going to talk about that. How you engage your customers or your patients, very well. So let's begin with corporate governance. Okay, so we said institutionalization. How do you build institution? And so I have talked about that the real challenge of businesses in Nigeria, not only in the healthcare, not only in the hospitals, not only in that, is the fact that the institutionalization is lacking. You have a big medical facilities, big one, or you have a big company, and you said, for instance, where is your board? What is your process of planning? What is your process of budgeting? What is your process of that? Not there at all. And so what that means is that it revolves around, the owner. We call it the strong man syndrome. The strong man syndrome. I'm the MD and chairman. The chairman of I'm the medical director. The medical director. Everybody in that facility run to his office for everything. Ideas, complaint, that, approval, and that, or the chairman and managing director. No processes, nothing. In fact, all the processes are in the head of the owner, of the big man. Whatever he says, nobody's used. There's no policy for you to say, this is not the policy. This is not the policy. No, everybody agrees with him. Even when, in most cases, even when there's a big challenge. So that's the reality of businesses in Nigeria, small businesses in Nigeria today. That's the reality. And it is a bit very difficult to get business owner to come out of it. Very difficult. You try. Though it is so. And so sound corporate governance is key to success. Most of all, we know, we do know that the all businesses, when you talk about sound corporate governance, that is key to success. We those of us in business, we say it, and those big business, whether you are talking to Dangote, Access Bank, GT Bank, LAPO, and all that, we say it. Governance is the key to success. And unfortunately, that's what the most small business, small and medium enterprises don't do. And so we always say that what keeps your business small and underperforming for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, remains what it is, has not become this thing, is because there's no governance. So corporate governance is key to success. All successful businesses are strong in corporate governance. Go and find out. Whether you are talking about Dangote, you are talking about big business, they are strong on governance. So absence of governance is actually why most businesses are not performing very well. And so the key organ, let's begin with governance. The key organs of governance, that is the key organ of governance, is the board. Is the board. What is a board? A board is simply a body of people who come together, meet periodically. Members are not full-time staff. They come together maybe twice a quarter. Twice a year, 3 times a year, 4 times a year, or so, and some other something. But board is simply people that get together. They are with skills and with skills, expertise, and some commitment. They come together and they provide something. They just want to provide oversight, for the business, being able to look at strategic issues, where we want to be tomorrow, ensure that the management performs the performance, and protect the assets, including money of the business, through budgeting, ensuring that proper budgeting, there are rules and procedures that guide the way you operate the business. That's what they are. They are not good. They don't sit down in this thing and start running. So what it is, so simple. A group of people you put together, say, come and help me. They will look at policy. They will look at procedures. They protect the asset of the business and let it grow. So that is what it is. And the reason I say why is just that they present the owner and, of course, the business with variety of ideas, opinions, perspectives for business success. That's what they come. They come from different backgrounds. Some of them have been, have experience, some of them have expertise, some of the education, they have all that. They come and just help you bring ideas during meetings and all that. So then, what is the basis of that? The basis of that is what I consider, for me, I say this often, that when it comes to human capability, what a human being can do, no matter how intelligent you are, you made the first class, you were this thing, no matter how smart you are, no matter how energetic you are, and no matter how wise and knowledgeable you are, you can never be more than one person. You're still one person. So when you run your business alone, you are the only one that brings the idea, you are the only one that you are limiting your business. Until that is what is happening in most businesses in Nigeria. You are limiting your business. So that's the main reason. The second reason is also that I talked about the business person requires some support. A key business things that make business to succeed. Formulating business strategy and business plan. And you can be so surprised that many businesses that are medium size, that are not grown beyond medium size and all that, you ask them, what is business plan? Nobody. The business plan becomes something like, oh, what is it? Of course, I don't think it's taught in any business school, so that's a big problem. So, but the board can actually provide support to formulate strategy, business plan for 5 years, and risk management framework. When you talk about small business, you ask them what's risk management. They just say, and so performance management. The business will support the business owner to be able to deal with the issue of strategy. A business that does not have strategy and plan, does not have business plan, is just like a ship on the sea without a compass or without what they call a GPS. You just go anywhere. You just be running around and around. That's why most small businesses continue to run around year in, year out. But the guy is making money, you are able to pay school fees for your children, build one beautiful house, and probably buy a good car. Well, it's fine. But business expectations are more than those things. And those things that can make you to progress beyond that is to have a business strategy and a business plan. Our Ehi Center is, I'm not doing that. Ehi Center is quite strong in those areas. Business plan, business risk management framework, and all that. So then the final reason why you need a board is that the board is to protect the business against the business owner. That looks shocking. That looks like, how will you protect the business against business owner? The reality is that most businesses are destroyed by their owners. Most businesses are destroyed by their owners. It's only that in most cases they don't accuse you. They don't accuse themselves that they were. So they must find somebody to blame. They blame Tinubu policies. They blame other things in the environment. At times, some of them blame their staff, as if you were not the one that employed the staff and supervised the staff. But the most area where business owners damage their business is the area of financial indiscipline. Many people see that when they are business, whatever it is, you just do whatever is your money. It comes, you spend, you do everything. Secondly, you don't even have process for that. So, but the body will say, no, what is going to happen? We have a budget for the year. We're going to spend the budget for this year is going to be this amount. Travel is going to be 3 million, this and that. And so you can't just say you want to travel, you go and get 10 million to go and travel to you or go to Dubai and all that. Most businesses are killed by their business owner. Some don't know. They are unknowingly because they don't have the right something. Some of them, because of want to meet up, the building, I got to a small, somebody was in business, and when I got to his house, more business, and I was amazed. How do you have to spend all this money to build this big house? Nobody, the moment you enter that house, people come, they know nothing. Build your business first. before you build your house. The Bible is, there's also a portion of the Bible that you build your feet first before you build your house. But most people build beautiful houses to say that I'm successful, and in the process, the business is going. So the board can now help you to protect you the business against the business owner who is irresponsible. So this type of something is very important if the business is to be viable and if the business is to be there for a long time. Now, let us look at misconception about board, because a lot of misconception, and this is important, you have to pay attention to this. Many people have some misconception that the business is too small. Why do you have a board? In the small business, you don't have a board. You know, and that is the first one. I said, no. I set up my board in 1994, made up of a university professor, a chartered accountant, a school headmaster, a businesswoman, and some other women who are in our business. So, and they're small. So why do you say it's too small? No, that's a misconception. The other misconception is that, oh, if you have a board, you will lose control to the members of the board. How will I lose control? No, we are going to, that's another thing. Oh, if I get people and I will not be in control of my business, I will not be the chairman and managing director. I will lose control. Some people come and control my business for me. No, that's a misconception. Another misconception is that many people, oh, if you have people on the board, they will come and know your secrets. They will know how the business is, how big the business and all that. That's another misconception. Another one is that with board control, when the board control, or when the board is there, I will not be able to live like a typical Nigerian businessman or businesswoman. What's a typical Nigerian businessman? You just take money, you go to say chief launcher, you do chief launcher. You do buy whatever you do, you spend so much money. They say, okay, donation, whether it's church anywhere, you come out and say, yes, the chairman, managing director of this and that, you spend a lot of money. But obviously, you will not be able to do that because there are going to be procedures that you can. And I will shock you later about what you can do for your business to grow concerning you, because I said most people destroy their businesses unknowingly and unknowingly. There are a lot of issues, but we don't have time to discuss that today. But what are the truths? That I've told you about the first thing, misconceptions. I'm telling you about the truth now. The truth about the board is not only for large businesses. The small businesses, I told you in 1994, when we were very small, so we have board. And you are the shareholder. You are the main shareholder of your. Nobody can take your business if he's not a shareholder. A board member does not need to be a shareholder. It's somebody you just nominate. And because you are the one that nominates the person, you can also ask the person to go. So the board member does not need to have shares in your business. If he does not have shares in your business, cannot control your business. You are in charge of your business. Cannot take the business from you. And the board members are not involved in management, day-to-day management. They are just part-time people. That's why we call them non-executive directors. Non-executive director. They are not executive directors. Okay? So, and then the board members does not take salary. They don't, it's not expensive. The people say, oh, board is expensive to maintain. No, it's not. You only pay the sitting allowance. If, for instance, they meet 3 times a year, you say, okay, we pay 200 naira or 200,000 or 100,000, even 50,000 to each member. That's what it is. You just pay them sitting allowance. If after your business becomes big, you can pay what we call board director's fee. But you just pay sitting allowance and entertainment. But what you will get from them will be something. So let's quickly look at, because my time is going, corporate board. When you set up a board, membership of the board. I told you it's a group of people. So you nominate people you know very well. That is the important thing. You look at people. If you have got to a certain age, you know that you are related with certain people. You know them by the integrity, expertise, and experience in the industry. So you nominate people you know very well for integrity. Don't go and nominate people you don't know just because you met and speak good English in one conference, and you say you should come and be your board member. No. Begin with members of your family, if possible, yourself, your wife, and then mix it up with some professionals who can provide some technical and professional advice during board meetings. Okay? Begin with a board, very small, 3 members, 5 members, 7, 5, maximum of 5, to begin with. And so you make sure that the tenure, don't forget this. If you are going to act on this, don't forget the tenure. You can say that when you are writing the letter of what do you call it now? Letter of appointment to the board. You say this appointment is for a period of 2 years, renewable for another 2 years, if possible. Because if you now find out it's not doing anything after 2 years, you don't renew. You can actually ask. So you must put a tenure. Many people have made that mistake without putting a tenure, and the person starts whether it's good. Then you don't want to remove him. At times, if he related to you, it's your father-in-law, your mother-in-law, whatever. So put a tenure that this is the period, and renewable for this period if you like. Of course, the other one that only pay city allowance, I think I've told you about that. And meetings should not be frequent. Don't be holding meetings all the time. 2 times a year, 3 times a year, it's fine. 3 times a year maximum. It's not a regulated business. Not like a bank, they say you must do it 4 times. Okay? So the management, you are the managing director. There's no doubt about that. What is important is that you must clear the processes and function, detail something for those who are in your finance. What I have in most business, say, where is your this? He said, that's the accountant. The accountant, say, where's the job description of the accountant? No job description, it's just there. So you must clarify those functions. Finance, your operation is the business you are doing. Who is running that business? Who is in charge directly? If you are medical, you have a hospital, the operation guys could be the head, chief medical director, making yourself, you combine CEO with that. Or if you are in distribution of drugs, the person that does the marketing is the head, is operation. You need to also have human resources. That is where most businesses are not doing well. So audits, you need to have that. Procedures must be very clear. No matter, right procedures, policy, even if it is not good, nobody wants it to be perfect. But over time, as it's helping you to progress, you begin to perfect that. So we are gradually going to down. We're going to look at financial discipline. I think this is a major thing. I've said it before, so I don't need to repeat. I'll just say it once. The biggest threat to your business is financial indiscipline. There's no other way. We have seen it, happening. So if you look at fund is the blood of your business. Just like blood is in the body. So if you drain the blood away for whatever, your money away for business, your business will become financially anemic. I think those of you who are in health sector, you know what to be an anemia. When you see a business that is financially anemic, there are 2 things that will happen. Either it becomes poorly performing, not performing or underperforming, and it may just collapse. So go and visit that. The blood, anything, take it that money, fund is the blood of your business, just as blood in the body. If it is not properly there, then if the body caught a body and is drained the blood, the body becomes anemic. That's number 1. Number 2 is that the business success and durability, attention, if you want to, must pay to financial discipline. So let's look at the tip. This might talking about financial discipline. What are the tips for it? The first thing is this: what people destroy their business is that they don't defer. That is push forward gratification. They want to quickly. In other way, you can say they eat their seed. You have to start a small business. The first thing is to build a big house. Start a business, the more something, even when you have not been able to pay staff, you go to Dubai for vacation. Or you want to look at the type of car you want to buy. You go and buy a car that will take much more from your business. Okay, so I'm not saying you should not enjoy yourself. That is what I see that. I don't know. I didn't have the opportunity to attend this seminar like this, but maybe by divine something, I just got that understanding that I must push something forward. I will enjoy it. Okay, so my mother used to always tell us that the pride, that's the pride, the thing that you could do, that you can do about 3 years to come. If you do it now, it may collapse you. And somebody came to my house in Benin and said, it's fine. You didn't build this house very early. I said, no, I decided to build my business before I build a house. Because let me tell you, there's nothing as bitter as you start a business, you enjoy your business, and in old age, the business collapses and you suffer. So deferred gratification. You will in future buy the best car. Let me give you a real example. This I'm not, because when I give testimony, when I started my business, I got a huge sum of money at a particular point in time. Somebody advised me, buy Dasu Cherry. Some of you are old enough, you know that when before this Bejo, there was the first set was Dasu Cherry, very fine, and 30,000. I said, just buy that one. I said, no, I will put my money in my business. I will ride the best car eventually. I don't see any car I want to buy that I cannot buy today. I want you to have this mindset in your head. So place yourself, this is going to shock you now. I don't know how many of you are doing this. Put yourself on salary, peace remuneration. Put yourself periodically review. Right from day one, I have a salary. No, let me explain it to you. See, just don't put yourself on salary. You review it as according to time. Your expenses, your children now go to secondary school, or they go to, you review it. But what it does, it creates a level of discipline in you. If you are going to travel to Abuja for whatever reason, that is the amount you will take when you travel to Abuja. That's the amount. That's the amount you will take. You will not take more. And it makes you to be a disciplined person. That is the first time. Secondly, it makes your business, your staff, to know that you mean business as the head. And thirdly, if at the end of the year you do your financial something, that the accountant do it for you, and then the profit, is it not your own? It is your own. So don't lose yourself to, as any money comes, bring here. Put yourself on salary. When I run the bank, I left the bank, I gave it to, when I left, because when I was going to step down. And then 2017, it was 2 years to that, and that was the time they were going to review my salary. And when they called the board, this is a big bank, LAPO Microfinance bank, the board, when they came to discuss my salary, they asked me to go out. I'm the founder. Then when I came back, they asked a lady who was then also our board member, but the chairman of the board director of GT Bank. They asked her to now tell me, and she said, this is why I like LAPO. I'm proud of it. That we are the one deciding the salary of the MD, not just an MD appointed, the founder MD, the owner MD. So the chairman then told her that, look, that is the way we have been doing it. So go and try this thing. If you want technical support on how to fix your salary and discipline yourself, you can get it. So the first thing, maintain a book of accounts. I think I have to rush now. Set up a book of accounts. Ask somebody, how do you put your account? You say, they just get for tax and all that. Ask somebody to come and put book of accounts. Very clear. It's don't do arithmetic. I asked a big organization, I said, how do you do accounts? I say, when I say it's arithmetic they are doing, he said somebody will calculate all what they receive minus where they spend and all that. Just ask anybody basic something to put an accounting system. The automated accounting applications. Produce and review basic report, monthly report. Have it. Let your accounting people provide it to you. Our income and profit and loss for this month. Do basic something. They have, plan and budget, put budget. Do put a little budget. It will not get it right, but at the beginning of January, before January this year and next year, put a budget. This salary, this is what we will do. Business, this is what we do. This is what we earn. Then these expenses. It may not be perfect now. It will be perfect later. Okay? If you want your business to go to bigger than you and to live after you, a business that can live after you, we know, it's only a business that when you are alive, is running without you. That's the only business. But if you are doing a business that without you, that business cannot run, then that means that when you go, the business will die. Okay? Develop your people. Develop your people. American Medical Association actually noted that staffing is the big challenge of medical facilities. It is also true for Nigeria. You go to medical facility, you don't know structure, nothing. The staff, you just get them. Some of them may be, ad hoc or whatever. They don't even know their position and all that. So get the best when you are recruiting, even in the environment. Even in the environment that don't have too many qualified, they still see the best you can get. And this is important too. Don't treat your staff, your people, like wood. I think that is the basic problem we have in Nigeria. With the director of business owner, we take our staff as if they are wood without feeling and all that. Without feelings and all that. Treat your staff very well, not only on salary, the way you talk to them, the way you ask them for opinion, motivate them, but also discipline when they don't do anything. Finally, I think my time in motivate them, invest in their development. Many businesses think that training is a waste of time. If training is not, you can organize, ask your friend, come and train my people on certain things like this. It's one day, or the only expenses you are going to pay, maybe you pay little honorarium to the person and then you buy biscuits and all that for entertainment. They train them on certain areas. So a closing remark, there are some facts about businesses in Nigeria, inclusive of our healthcare businesses. Number one, when you look around, that is the reality. When you look around, you will see that it's like a savanna. Some of you have an idea of a savanna. When you look at savanna has small grasses and only few tall trees. That's how the business landscape in Nigeria. You have small businesses, every house. Then you have only few tall businesses, large one. And you want your own to live, that small one to be one of the few large one. Second, business owners are mostly responsible for the failure of their businesses. The only thing is that they don't blame themselves. When the business is not performing, the business failing, you see they will not blame themselves. They blame the policy, economic policy of one government or the other. They blame their staff for that. At times, they even blame their customers. But they know that. That is why I want to leave this thing with you. When your business, at times, when you begin to say these people are responsible, there's a concept I call the mirror of blame. If this is a mirror, and anybody that look at this mirror will see the person to blame. In most cases, we turn the mirror to other people. When you are in your family, you're having problems with your wife, you turn the mirror to your wife, say, your wife is to be blamed. If your business is not, turn the mirror to other people. But have the courage to turn the mirror to yourself. Look at it. You just discover that you want to be blamed. So business owners are mostly responsible for that, and they don't blame themselves. There's again, the common feature of all successful businesses, big large businesses, is because they build institution rather than a strong man, strong managing director, MD. No, they build institution. I tell people to a large extent, many people don't know me. even in Benin, where I come from, don't know me, but they know LAPO. So we build one way or the other, project ourselves beyond our businesses. I was asking somebody, and I said, I mentioned a church. I mentioned a man of God. I said, how many people know his church? Many people know the man of God, never nobody out of 10 remember the name of his church. But they know him. Everybody know him. So build your businesses and don't build yourself. You are the one building this. The moment you start building yourself, you take your eyes away from building your business. Okay? And so finally, I think finally now, I will say that therefore, if you want your business to be profitable and last, you must build to last. Build your business, build for success, build for resilience, and build for durability. And with that, I want to say thank you so much for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. That was amazing. Okay, we have one question there. I think, sir, you can see it as well. Better Health Plus. I say, as a startup, how do you come up with a board of people you truly admire, but not within your relationship?
Thank you so much. I think these are some of the things we need to really look at. You are a startup. Startup actually means a small, you just start up now. And you start up, every big business started as a startup. That is the truth. So that probably started very small. You know, LAPO, I started with 300 naira in Ogwashiku. So that was small. So what you can do if at that point, early, you don't, if you are that, you can actually have somebody, one or two person that you admire. May not, like I say, this is not a board, so it may not have relationship, but you can approach the person if you don't. And let me also tell you, big people you think they are not too far from you. You know, at times because they are successful, they are there, you think you are not, you don't. No, many of them are willing to assist. So get even the one that is close to you, get the person to be like an advisor. Are you hearing me? So it's like a mentor. So every startup should have a mentor. That mentor will act like a board. So as you are getting bigger, you can now probably put a board together. So what should be the definition of, the profile or characteristics of your mentor? Someone probably will have time for you, because there are certain people big, they don't have time for you. Two, the one that has experience, maybe in your area, that he has gone through what you are going through. That's somebody will also be very, very helpful. Once you get that, and if you know of anybody you think is too far, but you listen, write a letter to the person, and you'll be surprised that the person will respond to you. That's my concept.
There's another question here. Someone was asking, say, how do you build your business as a startup and not build yourself instead?
Yes. Oh, that's like when you are actually a startup, you are actually building your business. You know, let me give you this just for startup. Let me give you, and I want you to relate with what I'm going to tell you now. The first 5 years of your business, you'll work like a slave if you want to be successful. How does a slave work? A slave does not have time. This is the time where you work almost 24 hours. And what is another feature of slaves? Slaves are not even paid. They are not even, you don't even take much from your business. Even if your colleague that you graduated, you qualified together is receiving, say, 1 million, where he's working for somebody, you may actually not be able to pay yourself 200,000, but keep on. Are you following it? So just get this clear for me. First 5 years of your startup business, work like a slave. Work all the time, work with little remuneration. And then the next 5 years is usually you work like servants. At that time, you can pay yourself, you can, and then it's actually about 10, 15 years thereafter, you can actually begin to pay. No matter that business becomes big. This is the rule. You don't, if you are working as a slave, you don't have time to build yourself. You are building the business.
There's another question for someone, Julius, and then he's saying, what do you advise about partnership for a startup?
Okay, partnership is very, very good. It's a case of two heads are better than one. That's our partnership. But we have a problem in our environment, and that is real. We have a problem in our environment. Problem of trust deficits. We don't trust ourselves, and that is not. It's not just for nothing. It has a reason for it. So many people, when you are beginning, it is fine. It is fine. But when the business grow, begin to bring something, that's where the problem in our environment begin to come up. You know, your partner wife is going to see that your wife dressed something, and then it starts doing a lot of imaginations and all that. And because we are not also very, very sincere, your partner is going to do some things that you may not, and you may not. But that is where at times people advise people, don't go into partnership. The little you have in terms of your state of your resources, push on it and grow it for yourself. That is one side. The second side is this. If you must go into partnership, there must be very clear documentation right from day one. Don't take anything for granted in terms of documentation of how much each of you are putting into the business, how the business is going to run, who is going to be the MD, who is going to be, if you say co-founder, who is going to be the MD, who is going to be the finance, who is going to be the technical person, and all that. Those things must be clearly documented, because nobody bothers when the business is small, but everyone bothers when the business is now bringing money. So you need to be extremely careful. So if you cannot do alone, you must partner for whatever reason. The clear documentation becomes extremely important. And when you are doing this documentation, lawyer, people are doing it, do it as if you already have a problem. You see problem in the future, and that document will help. That's what I can say now about that. More can be said.
We have one from Emmanuel. He says, thanks so much, sir, for the explicit and eye-opening presentation. What will you advise about maintaining trust in finance in a startup as a co-founder of a business with your partner? The partner is more involved than you.
No, that's what I'm saying. You see, if you do a clear policy, let's look at finance, for instance. You ensure that, first of all, you have a clear policy of financial management. What are they? It's not a detail. This is how the money, and beginning with budgets. You see that there should be a budget. And so when we say we are going to spend this amount on this thing and all that, monthly or week or quarterly, you now compare what we call budgeted for that amount and actual that was spent. That's one way. Budget is a control document. That is one. Two, insist that as we are beginning small, let's get a external auditor. You are not going to go for KPMG, price, all those big ones. Look for somebody who can also do the audit, external auditor, and that. Insist on that. So that will keep everybody, And the whole issue of remuneration, very clear in the budget. This is what the person that is involved is going to take. This is what it is. So that the person does not get involved, spending so much money, and what is left, he has spent left is now your profit. That is why most people don't invest in company run by Nigeria. Small your friends run, and he spend all the money on traveling, spend all your money, because your profit you are going to share as your dividend is only the leftover. That's why you are saying revenue minus expenses. So if you have a revenue of 100 million, I'm just saying, and the person is still irresponsible in spending, he spent 80 million. So what is left is 20 million. But if on the other hand, the person is responsible through corporate governance and control, he only spends 50 million. What is left for your profit is called 50 million. You can understand. So somebody running a business can actually spend everything. What is left is just give it to you as profit. So don't be shy away, because when you shy away, it's my friend, I don't want to engage and all that, it can develop to something bigger problem in future. So there must be clarity right from the beginning. The process, the procedures, budgeting for finance, there must be budget for finance, there must be budget control, there must be audit, and there must be financial procedures, and all that.
Thank you so much, sir. We have another question here, possibly maybe the last. What's your advice on a startup, putting everything to grow it, but it's moving slowly? Possibly this person is looking into how do you keep it running and keep it financed?
Yeah. Let me tell you, business, if you want to do a business as a business is not a 100-meter dash. 100-meter, we say go. If they stop, business is a marathon. Have you seen anybody when it's begin marathon? They are running like no. So it definitely will be slow. It's not. Don't think that because that technology people they are making and they are not slow. But one thing you must know, you can do even if it is not. Don't bother that is slow. But one thing you will bother about will be, look at again, what is your strategy? Many people start this startup without doing any business plan. You can't start up a business without a business plan, a strategy. And forget, strategy is a big name. Forget, it's not a big thing. Let me reduce it to something done for you. It's just for you to say, this is my focus. This is what I want to do. And this is my market. Who am I going to talk to? You analyze where there are many, where, and all that. This is the product. This is what we are going to develop. Okay? So in most cases, you discover that maybe you didn't get the market, your target right. Maybe that's why it's slow. So if it is because you didn't get the market right, or you didn't get the right product, right? And all that. So you look at those things, not look at the slow. It's slow is fine, but look at those key issues. Do we get the people who want to talk, who want to patronize us, right? Do we get that? What is, if it is business, what is my location? Even me, do I have the capacity to really there? What's my location? So you ask those questions, and in the process of asking those questions, you may tweak your business. Or in most cases, if that question comes very clearly, that is not, you can pivot. Pivot is that you look for another business. You're a young person, you're having a startup, so you can pivot to something. And let me give you a good example. The OPay is I think it's OPay. OPay is very popular today. OPay actually came, they wanted to do Okada in Lagos, when they were just, let's do like Uber, Okada and all that. Eventually, the government just put a problem. Technology we want to use to do. Government, Lagos State banned Okada along some street. And what they do, they turn into financial services. That's what today they have done well. You can pivot to something. If what you are doing is not making it, you have to. But let me warn you, I think for everybody, young people, because I'm hearing startup, please avoid every startup people is a very intelligent young person. Avoid the problem of very intelligent people if you want to stay in business. One thing about intelligent people, and I have to know it very early, so I have to work against it. Every intelligent people will get a business idea, intelligently design it and all that. Immediately it starts, he dropped that, and because he's intelligent, he has got another one. Yes, another business idea. When you go to that business idea, no business idea that will not create problem when you are implementing it. When you also see there's a problem, it doesn't work, it go to another one, and it go to another one. No. If you start a business, ask those questions. There's a problem, tackle the problem. And it is my common saying that only few problems that cannot be solved if you pay attention to solve that problem. Only few problems cannot be solved if you pay attention to solve it. So if you have a business and it creates some problem, face that and you get rid of it. And then you go ahead.
This is mind-blowing. This is great. Thank you so much, Lance, quite a lot. And we want to say thank you so much, sir, for being with us on the call today.
All right.
I will share with him. He runs a partnership or a mentorship platform. It's a closed one, but I'll check with him to see those who would love to connect and be part of his mentorship program. It's a platform that mentors CEOs. It's been amazing, and we want to see that people in the house are given the opportunity and privilege to be part of it. So we'll relate with him to see how that could be communicated. Thank you so much once again, sir, for joining us.
Benin Medical Care is a premier multi-specialty healthcare facility located in the heart of Benin City along Adesua Grammar School Road, commissioned on November 1st, 2019. BMC is dedicated to providing accessible, high-quality and affordable healthcare to individuals and families in Edo State and beyond. We believe quality healthcare should be both effective and affordable. We offer both general and specialist medical services, and we invest in using advanced diagnostic and treatment technologies. BMC offers a wide range of specialist services such as family medicine, internal medicine, obstetrics and gynecology, cardiology, adult and pediatrics, geriatrics, endocrinology and dietetics, nephrology and dialysis, ophthalmology and optometry, general surgery, orthopedic surgery, dermatology, gastroenterology, hematology, urology, neurology, pulmonology, ENT, diagnostic services, radiology, digital imaging and medical laboratory characterized by top-notch medical equipment with ultra-modern and state-of-the-art options such as Abbott i1000, VTech 2 Compact, computer tomography, mammogram, whole spine pacing, digital x-rays and ultrasound. Emergency and critical care 24/7 accident and emergency department, intensive care unit, ICU for adults, pediatrics and neonates. Ambulance services, VIP clinics, pharmacy. The double verification from our pharmacy department ensures professional and optimal care. Maternity and child health, antenatal and postnatal care, pediatrics and neonatal care. Health Assessment Clinic, HAC. This special clinic comprises wellness and health packages, ranging from premium wellness packages, corporate health services, comprehensive health check packages, and many others tailored to suit your health needs. Benin Medical Care is known for its patient-centered approach, combining cutting-edge medical technology with compassionate care.
BMC, we care.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Are you ready to reach more clients and earn more revenue? Join MedSift today and let's connect you with premium healthcare seekers. Are you a consultant doctor or own a pharmacy perhaps? Do you have a diagnostic center or a blood bank or hospital? MedSift offers you dedicated tools and features to help you grow, manage and transform your healthcare business. What MedSift offers you: tailored interfaces built to suit the needs of your field. Multiple admin roles, enabling you to admit multiple admins with varied permissions. Advanced analytics to help you make data-driven decisions with powerful insights. Secure communications so you can chat, share files, or collaborate on a group chat seamlessly with your clients and other healthcare providers. Integrated wallet system, simplifying your payments and transactions effortlessly. Telemedicine, it empowers you with virtual consultations to expand your reach and possibility. Enrich and broaden your network of healthcare providers. Well, your refairs and partnerships have just been scaled up with MedSift. Who wouldn't like a good partner? With MedSift's mobile app and web platform, managing your services has never been easier. No training needed, just plug and play. Boost visibility, pop up searches, and attract new healthcare seekers. Guide your clients easily with an integrated map assistance. Earn big connecting your clients to MedSift. And the best part, it costs you nothing extra to run your business on MedSift. You keep what you earn, no hidden fees. MedSift, your partner for success in modern healthcare.